Installation instructions for clinker thermopanels Royal Facade.
Tools for work: angle grinder, diamond wheel and grinding wheel, impact drill, whisk, buckets, polyethylene film, wood saw, level, tray with trowel for grout, angle, knife, marker, level, building cord, grater for foam plastic. With the help of a laser level, we draw vertical and horizontal lines on the walls converging in the corner. We fix the marking cord along the horizontal line. Forming and installation of the corner of the external clinker wall thermopanels. Marking and cutting, taking into account the proportions of the corner. If a whole tile should alternate with a half, then the beginning of the cut is at a distance of half the width of the tile, minus the thickness of the seam. We mark the width and cut the insulation at a 45-degree angle. We level the surface using a foam grater. We check the correspondence of the elements by location. Apply the adhesive foam according to the instructions located on the adhesive foam bottle. We fix the panels with the appropriate hardware. We fill all available gaps between the panels with the adhesive foam. Assembly of the external corner element. Glue foam is applied around the perimeter of the insulation. We fix the corner facade element with the help of appropriate hardware through embedded elements rondely. We check the verticality of both faces of the corner element. Installation of a wall clinker thermopanel. We fix the marking cord along the horizon between two corner elements. The marking cord should run along the line of the longitudinal ends of the upper tile. Formation of connecting insert between clinker thermopanels. We measure the size for inserting the wall panel element and calculate proportionally the width for pasting the tiles manually. We prepare and insert element of the wall panel. We mark the cut-off part of the panel element, taking into account the width of the tile seam for proportional gluing of tiles by hand. We prepare the tile for pasting according to the calculated proportional size. We are preparing the surface of the insulation for gluing the tiles. Glue foam is applied to the surface of the tile, taking into account its expansion. When working in positive ambient temperature, the surface of the tile with glue must be irrigated with water. During the initial gluing, the tile must be moved horizontally along the surface by 3–5 mm for better distribution of the glue and adhesion to the surface of the insulation. We fix the tile with improvised hardware, taking into account the geometry of the inter-tile seam. Installation of a window molding. We make a cutout in the molding element to form the window slope according to its dimensions. We form the molding element. We make a cutout in the molding element to form the window slope according to its dimensions. Installation takes place on polyurethane adhesive foam, which is applied to two panels of the molding surface. The molding is fixed on temporary hardware until the materials adhere to the adhesive foam. We fill the gaps between the elements to prevent the appearance of cold bridges. Installation of the window slope. We mark the slope taking into account the actual depth and width of the window slot. Before applying glue to the insulation of the slope element, use the metal brush to roughen the surface of the wall for better adhesion of the materials. We cut the wall panels taking into account the width of the slope from the window profile to the inner part of the facade tile. When the depth of the window slot is up to 125 mm, it is possible to form a window bevel from two elements. Hardware is fixed taking into account the width of the tile seam. We check the geometry using a protractor and a level. Formation of the window sill. We form the surface of the base for the tile within an angle of inclination of the tile 4 to 6 degrees outward. Glue foam is applied to the entire surface of the base. We fix the tile taking into account the formation of an overhang for a dripper up to 10 mm for draining water from the wall surface. To form a single full-size tile surface, we create a horizontal load with uniform weight distribution over the entire tile surface. We minimize chips on the tile with the help of the grinding wheel for ceramic tiles. We clean excess glue and adhesive foam from the surface of the tile. In the formed intertile seam from 1 to 5 mm on the window slopes and corners, we lay a facade polyurethane sealant. Grouting – breaking between tile joints. Add water to the mixture gradually until the optimal consistency is formed. The finished mixture has a similar appearance of raw earth. It easily falls off the surface of the tile. The seam is formed with a hand tool trowel in dry season. Finished walls after grouting are covered with a polyurethane film from the influence of the external environment. The term of preliminary drying of the seam depends on humidity and air temperature. On average, it is 1–2 weeks. Within an hour, the fresh seam and tile must be cleaned of excess grout with a soft brush and sponge. Thank you for your attention.